What's up, everyone, and welcome back to our Slab Sox live show here on Monday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Today, we've got a great show coming for you all as we are looking at some rivals of Nate's in the buy it, sell it section. So I hope he gets some good energy out of that, talking about his least favorite teams in the MLB. And then in the rest of the episode, we will be talking about May product releases. There's 3 really big Panini product releases happening this month, and then in short time, there is a big product releasing for Topps through a Bowman line, which the title is referencing, and you can see it there on the thumbnail a little bit for a teaser. We will jump into that after we do our buy it, sell it section. But to spoil the news, Caitlin Clark and Victor Wembanyama will be having their first ever Topps cards and autographs in the new upcoming Bowman University Inception set. It's a multi-sport set, so stick around to hear all the news about that. And we will ask you all what you think about that set coming up in this episode. So first off, we will lead with our buy it, sell it portion of the show today, this segment. Welcome to Jordan and Tony. Thanks for joining tonight. And Dan's, thanks for being here as well. Buy it, sell it tonight is about the NL Central. Okay, so Nate's favorite thing in the world, the NL Central outside of the Brewers, I know. And Nate, you're going to have to tell me right now, based off of how these players are playing this year and the sales values of these cards, are they a buy or a sell? But you have to remove all bias. I'm not going to sit here and hear sell because of the Cubs and Cardinals. I need to try your best to give some non-biased, truthful takes here. Cody Bellinger is having a spectacular year, like keeping it up too. He's keeping it up.
1 second here. Let's pull up a couple stats.
Sports card professor pointing out some important information there. You were at 100% likes at the start, but now down to 70% and now under 50%. Well, hopefully the rest of the episode goes better than that, SCP.
So Cody, he is hitting 300. He has a 934 OPS. He's got 7 home runs and 9 stolen bases. So if he keeps this up, he's likely going to be a 30-30 guy, which would be crazy.
Yeah, that'd be nuts.
Considering his career high in stolen bases up to this year was 15. He already has 9. He also has 9 doubles. So what if he was a 30 double, 30 home run, 30 stolen base guy? Bowman Chrome Auto BGS 9.5 for $132. Now, I don't think the Cubs are very good. I don't expect them to be at the top of the division at the end of the year, so I don't think he's going to be playing in the playoffs. Another issue that Tom brings up on the side is that he's a free agent at the end of the year, so he'll be curious, bounce back and then all of a sudden leaves for his third team. Once you start getting into that third team scenario, values just start going down. You look at Manny Machado, guys like that. Even though Manny didn't ever have the career struggles in the middle that Bellinger has had. If he keeps this up for the rest of the year, I do think it's a buy. Like if he ends the year at a 30-30, I think that this is an easy buy because that's bouncing back to former MVP form. So I at 132, buy.
I think SCP is trying to rattle me a little bit because I see 100% likes here. SCP trying to get me all fired up to start the episode. That's okay. But as for Cody Bellinger, one time many years ago, I bought this exact same card. I don't know if it's the exact same slab, obviously, most likely not, but bought the same card for like $500. Okay. Bought that way too high. That was right before he was going to win Rookie of the Year. And I was trying to do like a little short-term buy it, sell it before winning the Rookie of the Year. I think I ended up losing some money on that one, but I did buy Refractor Auto after his prices crashed. I think it was like at the start of the next season, and they had a big bounce back. So I got a couple nice ones after they dipped as well to make up for that loss. But really goes to show how, we're talking about the risk of prospecting a little bit last night in the newsletter this morning and such. And this would be one where it's like, man, you could have bought him when Rookie of the Year winner, ended up winning an MVP after that too. And now, $132 card, although like Nate said, could be a buy right now if you are a fan of the Cubs and believe in Bellinger or just believe in him in general. Yep. All right, next up, Nolan Arenado. You say he's struggling this year, huh? Let everyone know. Shout out from the mountains.
Oh, just you wait. Now, he was struggling as of the last time I checked. Good. He's still struggling. Aaron, let me read this little slash line off to you. 232 batting average, 282 on base, 326 slugging. That is a 608 OPS, 70 OPS plus.
That's terrible.
30% worse than league average. It's the most beautiful thing I think I've ever seen in my entire life. Especially because he opted into his contract. Like, he played really well, opted into his contract. Everyone was like, what are you doing? Why did you do that? You should have taken the free agent money. Look at all this money. And then he opts in and instantly stinks. Now, do I expect Nolan Arenado to continually stink? No. No, I do not. But he is 32, and you never know when these guys might randomly fall off a cliff. Christian Yelich fell off a cliff at 29. You know? So he's terrible, and I am going to let my bias come in here. There's no chance I would buy this card at $250.
And we are looking at the 2010 Bowman Chrome First Auto PSA 8 and all these cards I picked today are between $100 and $300, which is why this is an 8 here, because that's what $250 can get you as an 8. Silver 250. Nate says he's selling that because you think as fall off is going to continue, or do you think that he's too good to keep sliding, as Bazooka Tom says?
I mean, I do think he's too good to keep sliding, but I have a hope. And my hope is that he keeps sliding and that the Cardinals are just stuck paying him money like the Brewers are stuck paying Yelich money.
You're here for that downfall is what you're saying.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. All right. Nolan Arenado, Nate says so. Next up is Brian Reynolds, the autograph PSA 10 for the Pirates now. Long-term extension signed, $100 some million. We're at 118 for his autograph PSA 10, depicted in a Giants uniform here. What are you saying here? Buy or sell, and how's that year going for him?
Well, let me start off by saying Brian Reynolds is just so good. He's so good. And he has been so good for a while now. And I am shocked that the Pirates actually signed him to an extension like they did, 8-year. Can I find it? He's got $97 million left on his extension. I don't know. There might be money missing in there. But he is so good. And if you want to know how they got him, it was in the Andrew McCutchen trade. So that's like one of those situations where you trade a longtime guy and then you end up with a longtime guy now in his place, which is really cool. But for me, the Pirates are a really good story right now. They're winning. They got a pretty good farm system. O'Neal Cruz is injured. He'll be coming back. They've got a new front office, a new regime, everything. But do I trust the Pirates? And that's always what it comes back down to is, do you trust the Pirates and their ownership? You can change everything about them, but if the ownership's still the ownership, I don't really trust the Pirates. And being stuck on the Pirates for another 8 years, like I would have said, if he's playing like he is, I would have bought this and waited for him to get traded to a major team and then just made bank because Brian Reynolds' name would have exploded.
And that's what I think people were waiting for, actually. In December, you actually could have gotten, it looks like, a base auto PSA 10 for $55. Then they went up to around 160 in April. Now they're back down to around 100. Did he get injured for a little bit?
I don't
either way
remember if he did or not. Let me see how many games he's played.
Probably not super important. But either way, signs the extension, so it won't be getting traded now. I know Cage was talking about how some New York radio guys were saying that they're buying Brian Reynolds cards on the New York radio station because they thought he was going to go to the Yankees. And then he obviously isn't. So one of them was really mad about it. But yeah, here we are, 118 for Brian Reynolds. You said, so is the thought sell?
Yes, but only because he's on the Pirates. From a talent standpoint, I would buy. But and this isn't, I'm not trying to rip on the Pirates too much. It's just, if it's between collecting a card for a guy on the Pirates or collecting a card for a guy on some bigger East Coast team or a bigger West Coast team, you're going to do that.
Yeah. Next up is Jonathan India Auto Bowman Chrome base PSA 10. It's $100. This is a 2018 draft. He's one of the bigger players to come out of 2018 draft, and he's having a really quality season. Like, I don't know exactly what gets you into the All-Star game anymore, but he's got a 306 average, 400 on base, 460 slugging, 125 OPS plus. Are we looking at a potential All-Star player this year here?
Yes. Obviously, it's a lot of fan vote. Yeah. And you do need a player from each team. So, if the Reds don't have anybody else, Jonathan India could get the nod, or if the fans love him enough in Cincinnati and just boost up his vote, you could get the nod. So it's it's kind of crapshoot. That being said, the Reds are in an interesting spot, and Jimbo and I just talked about this last Friday on our podcast, and Daily Dinger brought up an interesting question to me on my little Instagram post. Is that Jonathan India is a second baseman, right? Very good second baseman. But they also have Ellie De La Cruz. He plays shortstop. Noelvi Marte. He plays shortstop, second base. Edwin Arroyo. He plays shortstop, second base. Cam Collier. He plays third base. Matt McLean. He plays shortstop, second base, third base. Christian Encarnacion Strand. He plays third base. Sal Stewart. He plays third base. Those are all prospects within their top 10 who play shortstop, second base, third base. And they're all very good. Some of them are young. And that doesn't even bring up like Carlos Jorge, who just had Bowman Autos, who's a second baseman. Some of them are young, but they have a ton of middle infield talent. And so I'm kind of curious if the Reds maybe say, well, we got guys that can take his place. What if we capture value by trading him now to a team that needs a quality second baseman and get some more prospects that can grow with the guys we have right now in the minors? And if that's the case, then I buy, because he's leaving Cincinnati, and anytime you leave a place, no matter where it is, anytime you leave a place, you're generally getting good value on that trade. So I think I would probably buy him with the idea that he'll probably get traded because they have just too many middle infield prospects.
Not to mention, I mean, the stats and just don't match up with his sales values. I know that the Reds aren't the most collected team, especially from like a high value standpoint. If you're a Reds fan out there, don't mean to talk down your team, but he does have 7 stolen bases this year too. He has a 1.0 WAR already, which is good to see, I guess. And just $100 for base PSA 10 auto just seems low compared to, especially obviously, prospects releasing today. Jordan says, Nate, put your hate for my beloved Cards away for 1 second. What do you think of Lars Nootbaar?
I think Lars is a very, like, when you're filling out teams, right, you need those guys that aren't going to be stars but are just quality dudes, and you want quality dudes everywhere. Lars Nootbaar is a very quality dude. I wouldn't be shocked if he has a couple 5 win above replacement seasons and settles in as a 3 to 4 guy. But he is a extremely talented hitter that just knows how to get the job done.
Nice.
And I hate to say it, but I do like, if there is one guy, for the amount of dislike I have for the Tommy Edmonds and the Paul Goldschmidts and the Nolan Arenados of the world, I like Lars Nootbaar, and I like Jordan Walker.
I like Lars too. He is nice. Good on the interviews for the World Baseball Classic. He's playing with Japan. Next up for the Brewers, the last team here in the NL Central for the buy it sell it is William Contreras, our catcher, who we revolutionized to become one of the better catchers in the game now, as I understand it from defensive perspective.
Yep.
And we got his green atomic auto number out of 99, 95 SGC 10 auto, first Bowman 150. And this is like a month ago. There wasn't a whole lot of his Bowman Chrome auto sales around the $150 to $300 mark, but this was one of them. April 11th. Nate, buy it or sell it based on this number and this card.
So if we're taking into consideration the Omar Narvaez effect, where Omar was a great hitter and then struggled his first year as he was picking up all the defensive things that the Brewers taught him, and then the second year he put it all together defensively and offensively. If we're thinking this is happening, and it's not to say William Contreras isn't doing well offensively. He has a 795 OPS. He's a 120 WRC plus. But if there's potential that he could get back to that 860 OPS plus while also playing good defense, he instantly becomes one of the best catchers in baseball. Now, will that happen? I don't know.
860 OPS plus would be the best OPS plus.
Or 860. Oh, yeah, it would. 860 OPS, 137 OPS plus.
I know what you're saying. It's just funny.
So it depends on if you think he can put both of them together at the same time, or if last year's 860 OPS was just kind of a fluke. I mean, if he's a good defensive catcher with a 795 OPS, I don't think too many people care. I'd sell that card. If he's an 860 OPS guy with good defense, I think people do care. I buy that card.
Got it. There you go. Good breakdown. All right, moving on to our next section. But first off, we have got just a quick announcement based on SGC submissions. So if you were in the 430 SGC submissions, all of you should have emails in your inbox that you can request to get your scans. We're processing those throughout today, where you can see that your grades for the submission that's just coming back in the mail. Those should all be shipped out to you by the end of this week. I imagine the package probably be back around Thursday and all shipped out by Friday. As if I had a guess on it. And then the upcoming submission, the May 15th submission, is coming up soon. We need the cards in hand by the 14th of May, and you can submit cards to get graded with SGC through our service, slabstocks.com/grading. It's $18 per card for sports and non-sports, $12 per card for Pokemon. You can submit Pokemon cards right through the portal or the website submission format, slabstocks.com/grading. Would love to see all your cards come in for that. And we've got a big grade that actually just came out for someone's Bowman Chrome card that Nate pulled for them, or Bowman Auto, just the other week. So look out for that on Instagram tomorrow. We'll have a cool post on what that grade is just for $9 for the Bowman promo. But on to May product reviews now. May product reviews. Nate is going to walk us through 3 Panini releases coming out here very soon, or already releasing this week. And then I'll take one at the very end. So Nate, go ahead with the Paninis.
Hey, real quick. Did you see that the Cardinals are already relieving Wilson Contreras of his catching duties?
You serious?
Like, if you're gonna do that, why did you sign him?
I'm not sure. Where's he gonna play then? Like, isn't Goldschmidt at first?
DH.
Oh yeah,
signed a very expensive DH to catch every once in a while. It's both beautiful and stupid at the same time.
He said, I haven't heard one person telling me I won't be back behind the plate or we don't want you to catch anymore. I don't think that's the case. We will keep communicating. They signed a catcher, and they have a catcher, and they have him for 5 years. That might have been someone else that said that. But, all right. There you go.
It's tough. It's beautiful, but it's tough. All right, so we got Optic here. Am I talking about this?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got 2022 Optic coming out this month along with 2022 Optic football. So kind of a fun little thing. But Optic basketball coming out first despite the season ending after the NFL season. You got a couple rookies there, Jaden Ivey, and then Keegan Murray, who is a first-team all-rookie, announced today, along with
Ben Carroll was unanimous.
Ben Carroll. We'll get to it, I guess, because I got those up. So here are the draft classes. We've got Ben Carroll, Holmgren, Smith, Murray, Ivey, Mathurin, who was also a top guy. Jalen Williams was in there as well. You can go down the list and you can see them. Pretty good list of rookies, I would say. And then Chet Holmgren, who hasn't played. And then on the other side, you have the other rookie class, 2021 rookie class, with Cade Cunningham, Jalen Green, Evan Mobley, Scotty Barnes, Josh Giddey, Jonathan Kuminga, Franz Wagner, and so on and so forth down the list. Alperen Sengun, or however you say his name, pretty decent center. So you got these two lists of prospects, and my question is, which one's the better deal? Because 2022 is coming out at $310 on eBay, and the last one to sell of 2021 sold for $291, but with $14 shipping, it's basically a $4 difference, right? Or $5.
Basically the same price.
So what would you rather have for the same price, Aaron? Would you rather have the rookie list on the left or the rookie list on the right?
If it's just based on the rookie list, I think I'd rather have the right. The 2021 draft. I know there's a good amount of potential with those 2022 guys. I just feel like that there's a little bit more known, and that's obvious. I mean, they all are in their second year now, but while Cade has been hurt and didn't play much last year, I feel like can be that top guy in the draft. But you also have the Evan Mobley and Scotty Barnes and Josh Giddey, and then you got the higher potential Jalen Green if the Rockets can build something decent ones down the order as well. Quentin Grimes and Cam Thomas and stuff. Well, Cam Thomas was obviously scorching hot, still a good name to have towards the bottom of the first round.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather have the right one based on the names. Are you in the same thinking, or are you on the left side?
So the problem is we don't know what Chet Holmgren is going to do in the NBA, right? Jabari Smith wasn't very good this year. Paul Banchero was much better than I thought he would be, or Banchero. Benedict Mathurin was really good.
Yeah.
Jalen Williams was good. My boy Ochai and Christian Braun on this list as well, which is like, I mean, Christian Braun's sneaky good.
Wait, is
for
that a
Braun.
Badger getting drafted ahead of the Jayhawks? It is. It is a Badger.
And then performing worse.
However, he had a great end of the season when no one was playing their starters. So take that.
There you go. There you go. So it kind of depends on what Holmgren turns into. But yeah, I don't think I can pass up on Cade Cunningham, Jalen Green, Evan Mobley, Scotty Barnes. You could stop right there, and I would take them over the top 4 on the other side. And then you go down to Josh Giddey, and you go down to Franz Wagner.
Yeah.
You go down to Davion Mitchell, who's one of the best defenders in the NBA, even though that doesn't really get you paid. And all the other guys you mentioned, Cam Thomas and guys
Moses
like
Moody is an impact player on a Warriors team, or at least plays some minutes. Chris Duarte also had some big minutes for the Pacers this year. So there's a lot of names on that 2021 list. Now the thing is how I hear these comments all the time, and I don't know what the right answer is, but some people are like, oh, well, the 2021 has dropped in price now because the bigger hits have been pulled. So there's not as many things out there in the product versus 2022 is just coming out. All the big hits could be in your boxes, but not really, most likely.
Most likely not.
Most likely not. To me, it's like you're kind of battling a double-edged sword where, like, on the one it's like, or one hand, like, you're right. There has been black one-on-ones pulled of some of these players. On the other hand, it's like, well, there's also way less boxes selling. The supply is way more limited. So the box prices you think would be a little bit more versus 2022, where now the supply should be quite big throughout this week as it releases on Wednesday. Tons of places to buy boxes. I don't know. I mean, I feel like that this year's set should have been cheaper at pre-release and around 300, 310. I think I saw on some pre-order websites too around. Feels more like a 250 box to me now. But I don't know about what you think.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I like to look at boxes like what's the baseline value I can expect back as opposed to what's the very top end.
Yeah.
Because the top end is like impossible to hit. So like why base your purchase off of that?
I'd say the baseline's pretty darn low.
and I feel like the baseline for 2021 is better than 2022. And if I can save $5, I'll do that as well.
True. All right, next up is football. You got some new parallels, it looks like, on the left there. What's that, like electric or something they call it? Electricity?
I can show you. It is the 1 out of 65, electricity. Yeah, so Optic football coming out at the end of the month. I reported in the Daily Slab that it was supposed to be coming out this week, but they apparently changed cardboard connection between yesterday when I made the video and today when the video came out. So cool, very cool. But you got that coming out later this month, and you got the parallels, and there's 2 new parallels this year that are somewhat interesting. Jazz, that you can kind of see that old Taco Bell cup colors.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks like a styrofoam cup is what it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like the old Taco Bell cups. I like it. Anything that reminds me of Taco Bell is a good thing to me, even if it's not numbered, and it looks kind of like it's a paper card, even though it's Optic. And then you have the electricity out of 65. If you wanted to make a black gold, why not just make a black gold?
True. Do you know what this reminds me of, though? It reminds me of the Pokemon, the one that's like the electric Pokemon. It's called Electro, I think. I'm not sure exactly what it's called, but that's what it looks like. The parallel looks like that Pokemon to me.
You could say quite literally anything, and I know so little about Pokemon, I just nod my head yes and agree.
I think it's actually Electabuzz is what it looks like. Electabuzz. I just Googled it. That's what that parallel looks like.
I mean, you can kind of see the lightning bolts at the top, I guess, like a little jagged edge, but in all reality, most of it just looks like lines going off the page.
Not to mention, they were really trying to sell this one in the preview image by putting on a Steelers card with Kenny Pickett. Because if this ends up on like a card like I don't know, like the Bills or something like that, it just will look very misplaced.
It's true.
Where it's like a bunch of random colors together.
It's also true.
Tony says, "Great, now I can't get that parrot out of my head. Might as well call it the Taco Bell variant."
We've started something.
Yeah, you did.
I like it. So yeah, so not much to report on Optic football outside of a couple new parallels that one I like, one I don't. And then you have the big boy coming out this month, Flawless Basketball from 2021, which is ridiculous.
I think finally the last release of the 2021-2022 product cycle.
Yeesh. And the big thing last year and the big thing this year is going to be the triple logo man set checklist. And I will direct you, before we get into the good ones, I'm going to direct you to card number 3 in the middle. The most beautiful thing I think I've ever seen come out of a set is a James Harden, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, Brooklyn Nets triple logo man. Now knowing what happened there, not a single one of them are on the Nets. They did nothing together on the Nets. They almost have more cards together than they played games together.
Did they have like 10 games played together or something like that in 2
It's
years?
something absurdly low. And yet here they have a triple logo man together. I cannot wait to see if the number one, this is pulled, because it's not a guarantee that it gets pulled. And number 2, how much it goes for, because that seems like one of those things where like some sicko is going to be like, I need this because it's funny, and pay a ton of money because it's absurd.
It's a meme card at this point is what it is.
It is a meme card. But outside of the meme card, what's interesting to me is like the Giannis, Joel Embiid, Nikola Jokic one makes sense to me.
That's a sick card.
MVPs, the last 5 MVPs right there on that card. The Cade Cunningham, Evan Mobley, and Scotty Barnes card makes sense to me. All rookies, all very good rookies, all 3 top 4 picks. The LeBron James, Luka Doncic, Steph Curry, like, okay, it kind of makes sense. You want those guys on logo men, but you weren't going to put them with Embiid, Jokic, Giannis. You weren't going to put them with the rookies, and you still want them on a triple logo man, so you throw them all together. What doesn't make sense to me is they clearly wanted Jalen Green on one of these cards as the number 2 pick, but then they put him with a Vince Carter and Zach LaVine.
I mean, they were clearly going for a high-flying dunking card. It'd make a little bit of sense if all of them won the dunk contest, but Jalen Green's never participated in the dunk contest, to my knowledge, right? He never accepted and went and did it. I'm like 99% sure that he's never been in a dunk contest, but he'd only be in 2 even. So the point is that I get the thought about it. I just don't think that it makes sense to do it. Oh, wait.
Like Blake Griffin on there.
I was wrong. He actually did do the dunk contest. Did he win it?
Dude, I don't ever watch the dunk contest or the All-Star game anymore.
I think 2022, he actually was in 2022, but I don't think he won it. Obi Toppin won it, so yeah, he didn't even win it.
Should have put Obi Toppin in this card.
Exactly.
So there's like some cool ones, and then there's just number 4 seems atrocious to me. Number 3, very funny, but atrocious at the same time.
I like number 5. I think number 5 is a very cool new addition, and yeah, he did do that NFT dunk chain or whatever. Number 5 is a cool new addition. Number 3, obviously, like you said, meme. Number 2, there's not really much
It's
order.
not really, like, who cares?
Yeah, like big names. They'll be valuable because it's big names. But
number 1, number 5 would be the ones I'd want to hit if I was rich enough to hit flawless. And number 3 would be like the world is burnt. The meme where the dog's sitting in the fire room with the this is fine. That would be that.
And then number 4 would be Nick Young with the confused question marks. Swaggy feet. I would say, Nate, from number 2 though, I'd take number 2 to pull it and sell it. That'd be a lot of money.
That's true. You would sell that for a lot of money.
Yeah, that's probably.
You think it would fetch what, 2, 3, 4?
Yeah, somewhere, because the triple Warriors sold for like 300,000, I think, around there. You gotta think putting LeBron with Steph on the same card, and then I guess you throw in Luka. I would rather actually have a duel.
You couldn't have found me another vet that would have fit into this. Couldn't put Chris Paul on there or something.
Yeah. I mean, I'd rather not. I wouldn't want Chris Paul over Luka.
I know, but it's like you got 2 old guys, and then you're just like, put Luka on there.
To be honest, I know the access to this is nearly impossible now, but a Kobe, LeBron, and Curry makes a lot of sense to me. I even think Kevin Durant on there instead of Luka makes more sense.
Or if you wanted to put Luka with like Devin Booker and somebody else, that'd have been cool too.
Yeah. Either way, big money card for sure.
Put Damian Lillard on there. LeBron, Steph, and Damian Lillard.
Yeah, that'd be interesting for sure. Tony says, will there be pick your team breaks for flawless? If so, then Nets would be an interesting pick. I'm sure there will be pick your team breaks. I'm sure the spots will be insanely expensive. But yeah, I mean, Someone might try to chase it in multiple cases. I'd rather just wait for the card, but I also don't have the money to buy that card either way. So doesn't really matter, I guess. And I would real music. I'd also rather it just be LeBron and Curry, but I don't do that. They do have dual logo men's in the set. I guess we can look at that checklist.
They do.
Any notable ones that you remember?
I did not look.
Let me
very
see if I
carefully.
can get to just really quick and just rattle off like one or two because I'm just curious to see if they'd interfere. Oops, just click collegiate. Don't want that. Duels, Giannis and Embiid.
Okay,
So
that's
very
fun.
similar to the triple. LeBron and Luka, triple. James Harden and Embiid, that one makes sense. KD and Kyrie.
That's rough.
Chris Paul and Booker. Kuminga and Moses Moody.
That's fun.
Cade Cunningham and Jalen Green.
That's
John
fun.
Morant and Steph Curry.
That's
Lillard
fun.
and Donovan Mitchell, but Donovan Mitchell's on a Utah Jazz jersey. Carmelo Anthony and LeBron James. That's interesting for sure.
Ooh, that's a good one.
This is a fun one, Nate. Josh Giddey and Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
Oh, that's really fun.
And then LaMelo and Scotty Barnes, which I don't understand.
Why did LaMelo get on there?
I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense.
Are these logo men game worn player?
They should be game worn. I'm pretty sure all of those flawless ones.
Are they actually? I doubt Panini more than I doubt anything else in my entire life. I'm pretty sure. So,
well, all I gotta say is on the back of a flawless card, the logo men's, I'm sure it says game worn. That's my point. Moving on to the next and last set, and Bazooka Tom does bring up Caitlin Clark's name. He says, when can I pull a Curry, Caitlin Clark dual logo man? That'd be a sick card. But big news coming out today, just added to cardboardconnection.com was the checklist for 2022-2023 Bowman Inception multi-sports. So this is a university product, but this includes multiple sports and it includes more than just college players too. As you, for the first time, will be able to, if you want, buy a Victor Wembanyama autograph. Those should be, or at least I assume that they'll be outrageously expensive considering the PSA 4 SI for kids is a $350 card, Nate, the PSA 4 of Wembanyama. Caitlin Clark also is going to have her first autograph in this set. I'll break down the checklist for you all right now.
what year is that from?
That is from just this past year, SI for kids.
Man, I should have been getting SI for kids subscriptions and just getting the cards.
Yeah, I mean,
pay for itself.
Caitlin Clark's SGC 8's over $350 too. So like these SI for kids are crazy expensive, and now they will get their first Topps cards through this Bowman Inception set. I'm a huge fan of Inception for soccer, massive Inception soccer fan. For baseball, not the biggest fan because you do have the Bowman Chrome options, right? Like that's what you're gonna be buying if you're buying baseball. But this will be the first and only option to start for these players. Yes, more products will come out as time goes on. Wembanyama will get NBA cards most likely as time goes on. However, with the new way that autograph deals are working and such, you never know where the autographs will be. Is it exclusive deal? Is it not? I have no idea. But eventually he'll have NBA cards. But remember, Prism just released for 2022 rookies. That will be a long time from now before you can buy, like a Prism card of Wembanyama. Now, before getting into this checklist breakdown, fun announcement is that we will be getting some of this product. We're lucky enough to pre-order a good amount of this product. I'm very excited about that. We will, as always, be providing the best prices, the most educational breaks that there are. We'll be going through this checklist, combing it over, looking at all the names, building out another cheat sheet for it to be included in the Daily Slab newsletter. And this is going to be a fun product. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that these cards, eventually won't trend down in value at some point. As most university or I should say college cards do, when they get their NBA cards and license cards like that, eventually, maybe the cards do trend down. But what we do know is that this will be the first autograph of Wembanyama, the first autograph of Caitlin Clark. And I do anticipate the prices to be quite strong because of those SI for kids. I mean, the proof is in the pudding right there. $350 SI for kids rookies are insane. And these will be two of the most hyped players in their sports that we've actually ever seen for Caitlin Clark specifically, I'd say. And then as for Wembanyama, I mean, since LeBron. So it's going to be pretty crazy. And Bazooka Tom, exactly. Clark has another year before she is drafted. So you'll have a whole nother March Madness for her next year. Now, the details of the set. I'll just read it off here. This is the description of the set. 2022-2023 Bowman Inception University joins a growing roster of collegiate Bowman U sets. Although these releases generally focus on just one sport, collectors can find an assortment of amateur talent here. This includes college football cards alongside men's and women's basketball cards. Caitlin Clark headlines the women's game. And then what you have here is what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna break down the different subsets of this set. So you have the base set checklist, which has got a number of parallels there between green of 299, aqua of 199. You got blue of 99, fuchsia 75, gold of 50, orange 25, black 10, red 5. Foil fractor 1 of 1. Those foil fractors, I've never seen them on Inception card. I don't think they've ever made an Inception foil fractor card yet, but should look pretty insane. And here's just a number of names in the non-auto set checklist that I pulled out to start here. So you have Tua's brother, which is Taulia. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. He plays at Maryland. He plays quarterback, I believe, as well. You have Brandon Miller, who should be a top 3 pick in the NBA draft coming up this year for Alabama. Jalen Wilson for Kansas. Caitlin Clark, obviously for Iowa. You have Caleb Williams in the non-auto set for USC. Aaliyah Boston for South Carolina, who is just the number 1 overall pick in the WNBA draft this year. She was one of the best players in women's college basketball last year and the year before that, I believe. Bryce Young for Alabama, just drafted in the NFL, obviously. Matis Bazulis is a high school recruit for basketball who gets his first card. He is the number 5 overall recruit, I believe, in this next class. Not committed yet, but he's a big basketball recruit. Zach Edey for Purdue, who won Player of the Year for college. CJ Stroud. Amari Bailey, who played with Bronny James at Sierra Canyon. He was on UCLA this past season. Anthony Richardson as well for Florida. Obviously, the big 3 quarterbacks are also in it. There is no Angel Reese for LSU. I did look at that. I know she has an autograph with Leaf. I don't know if that had anything to do with not being in here, but she's not in the set. So now the base autograph.
Hey, did you see that real quick? Did you see Bronny is going to USC?
I did. He's going to USC, which is I did expect Ohio State just from obvious connection reasons, but staying in California, which I guess also makes sense though. I mean, the Lakers, and pretty sure that the family lives in LA and everything like that. So I know he's going to UCLA.
And it's only 1 year.
Yeah, only 1 year, but still. And then as for the autograph checklist, so I try to highlight players on the autograph checklist that are getting like first autographs, meaning like not highlighting Bryce Young, who obviously already has autographs out there, or Caleb Williams and such like that. I don't think Caleb Williams is in the base autograph set list. He's in the subsets, but in the base autograph set checklist, there's a lot of players in this. There's going to be a lot of players from college basketball, women's college basketball, and then also college football. And in the base autograph set checklist, Aaliyah Boston will be getting her first autograph. I don't think that she, man, I just didn't misspeak there. She could have had one, I guess, in like a McDonald's All-American set. No, she did not. Okay, so this is her first autograph. Brandon Miller. This is a massive one. Hansel Emmanuel is the one-arm basketball player, just incredible. I don't know if I'm sure many of you have seen him on different videos on Twitter, Instagram, such like that. And unbelievable what he can do with it is one arm. It's either way, just insane stuff. Scoot Henderson, who will be a top 3 pick most likely in the upcoming NBA draft. That'll be his first Topps Bowman autograph. Caitlin Clark, those will, in my estimation, be the second biggest card in the set. Zach Edey from Purdue. Also, Jared McCain, who is committed to Duke. He was a top 10 recruit for this past season. Going into next year, he'll be at Duke. Juju Watkins is a women's college basketball recruit. She, she's committed to USC, so she'll be going there same year as Bronny. She's got like 260,000 followers on Instagram, which is an insane amount of followers for a women's high school basketball player, even any high school basketball player. It's just crazy. Like she's very popular, so she's got a set card in the set. And then the biggest being Victor Wembanyama, of course, and he is only in the base autograph set checklist, nowhere else in the set. So I'm assuming that there will be base non-numbered autos in this set of all of them. Maybe it's short print, but there will at least be 300 plus autos of him in the set. And then there is a jumbo relic set. I didn't want to pull every single name on this because there's a lot, Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, people like that. But Caleb Williams will have the biggest patch auto in this set. I don't know if they're game used yet. I hope that they're game used, but that'll be a very big card. I don't know if they're on card sticker or what that would be yet for patch autos versus the base autos. I know in like Topps Inception baseball, you got the on card for the non-patches, and then there's stickers on the patch autos. So we'll see what all that is about as the set starts to release. But Caleb Williams' first patch autograph will be big. His Bowman Chromos are selling huge, Nate. Remember last week we talked about him? Mm-hmm. I went and started to look like, oh man, should I buy one? Like the base autos are like $300. Like they're big, like big sales. And then you've got this is going to be an insane set. The dual autograph relic set checklist. Bryce Young and Caleb Williams dual patch autographs, crazy. Bryce Young and CJ Stroud dual patch autographs, and Will Levis and Oscar Tshiebwe. So they're even going to have
I think we know somebody who's going to buy every single Will Levis and Oscar Tshiebwe auto.
Yeah, Jimmy and the Kentucky Roadshow team will definitely be all over those. Will Levis and Oscar Tshiebwe. So they will have football and basketball combinations. And then also there is Inception autograph nameplate set checklist, which will be crazy. It seems like that. Oh, I know which one I left off the dual list. I'm like, which one am I leaving off? CJ Stroud and Jackson Smith and Jigba have a dual patch auto in here. Ohio State collectors will go crazy for that. Like Ryan, I know he will probably try to get the one of one as fast as possible. But then you've got the nameplate set checklist, which should be a very fun set. I love when they do the nameplate cards at their game use. That's a massive boost, obviously. And the fact that they're autographed.
Like Knicks only be numbered to 3?
Yeah, I mean, that's my hope. I mean, at the top there it says serial numbered out of 10, but I just don't see how that would be the case unless they use multiple jerseys to make 10. But I assume that that's just like a standard that they just said, but it'll be numbered to all their jerseys, which would be really cool.
You can't even write out Billingsley.
Like it should be a 6 set. So they're doing a lot to bring a new feel to the Bowman University brand for sure, with the multi-set, combining men's basketball, women's basketball, college football together, Wembanyama, high school players. There's a lot out there in this set. There's a lot more to learn. Of course, I don't know all these players. There's a lot in there I don't know. There's no Wisconsin Badgers, which I was hoping I'd see. Hoping I'd see someone in there, but honestly, all the football players are good now are all transfers, so they're not really going to have any autographs or pictures of them yet. And then the basketball team this past year was not good at all. So, it's
you made the NIT.
Almost won the NIT, but decided to blow it like every single other game this year. So
you're a wannabe Kansas women's basketball program.
That is 100
NIT winners. No big deal.
Oh, you did win? That's right. I forgot about that. Either way, I'm super excited about this set. We will be having a good amount of the product. We'll be breaking this on our channels. Not exactly sure about the whole plan yet for that, but stay tuned. We'll talk about that next week. I can guarantee you this, though, is that we will bring the best prices in the hobby to this product. We will.
I doubly guarantee it.
Nate doubly guarantees that. I am extremely excited about this. Please, stay tuned via our newsletter, Daily Slab Newsletter, slabstocks.com is where you can sign up for it. We'll provide more value to you all with educational content along the way. That's our goal here through our Slab Stocks Breaks channels, is to, educate, have fun together. Nate had a lot of fun with Bowman, I know, and bring the very best prices we can to the hobby. The goal here is to make sports cards accessible to everyone, and kudos to Topps for building sets that can be accessible to everyone. You have the international factor with Wembanyama. You've got the top women's game with Caitlin Clark there. And then, Angel Reese can be included, but there's Aaliyah Boston in it too. And then you've got a lot of the high school players and men's players, and then even women's basketball recruits. Like, this is going to be a fun set. I know there's going to be a lot of people who collect, NBA cards, Panini cards, or even, past Topps cards that just don't care for, college jersey cards or whatever it might be. But the set won't be for everyone. I'm not telling you it has to be for you. I'm excited about this as someone who loves viewing all sports. And the fact that Wembanyama's first autograph is in here and will be his only autograph for a while, unless there's another Topps Bowman type of set that releases, will be crazy to track. I'm super excited to track those in the Caitlin Clark sales, no doubt about it. Anything else to add, Nate?
I think you covered it all.
I know you're excited about those Kansas players in here.
I am. I think I might have to get myself a couple Kansas spots, get a Jalen Wilson auto.
Awesome. Well, thank you everyone for coming to today's show. Means a lot. Product previews, buy it, sell it with Nate's biggest rivals in baseball. And we hope to see you all back here in a future episode. Slab Stocks Live, Mondays at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Slab Stocks Sundays, 9:45 p.m. Eastern Time. Appreciate you all. Have a great rest of your week, and we will see you next time.
See you guys.